C'est comment, non? Tu étais au travail?
Oui. Mais je travaille à la maison après, les gars voulaient qu'on aille à l'entreprise.
Jojo.
You speak French now?
Oui. Nous. Parlez-vous.
Parlez-vous français?
Oshi. Nous.
Welcome along to Broken and Unseen, your favorite podcast with my humble self, Joel, and Big Bro.
Back again, the Big Sam himself.
And today, we have a very special guest in the house. My friend, my brother, a seasoned footballer, born in Guinea, Joel LAMAH, who he has showcased his skills as an attacking midfielder and right winger. He has played for clubs such as El Dakhaleya, NP Projetad. He has played for Nogum FC in Egypt, as well as Altai in Al Enstar in Saudi Arabia. And before Ronaldo was Joel in Saudi Arabia. Even before Ronaldo discovered Saudi, Joel had already been in Saudi. And yeah, we are lucky and we are blessed to have Joel today in the house. So, ladies and gentlemen, my brother, Joel LAMAH. Bro, thank you for coming.
Thank you for you guys to welcoming me today. And I'm so happy to be with you guys today. And it's very nice. We're going to have a very nice emission today.
Thank you, bro. So, for you guys who don't know, now he plays here in Romania. He's here full time. And it's a pleasure to have him here with us. And like I said before, we are blessed. We will have a nice conversation. We will have a good time. It will be an interesting 1 hour with Joel. And we'll go right into it. So, bro, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, how was it like growing up in Guinea?
To grow up, I'm from Guinea, as you said. And to grow up in Africa is not easy, like everywhere. But I'm happy to be a Guinean, of course. And I was so young from the beginning. And football, we all love football in Africa. We start playing football at the street.
On the streets, yeah.
Yes, so
barefoot.
I was the youngest one, but because of the talent, I was playing with my elder brothers.
Yeah.
And that's how come I have a passion to become a football player.
Nice. And so let's take it back again. Like, what did football mean to you? I mean, for myself and for Big Sam as well, it was some sort of escape from maybe like not wanting to do house chores or maybe just being strong-headed, being stubborn. So what did football mean to you personally?
I guess it was a passion also. Like, normally, our parents in Africa, they always think about us to go to school.
Go to school?
Yeah. But,
Be a doctor.
Exactly. But, unfortunately, because I liked the football since I'm young.
Yeah.
I had a passion for it. I was watching the football, all the emission. And my dad also was a football player, but in his village. So that how come from... It was my passion when I was young.
Okay. So it was a passion for you.
Yeah.
But was there any time, I mean, like parents will always say, you have to do what I said if you still want to live in my house. Was there any time your dad said to you, Joy, if you don't go to school, you're not going to play football anymore?
Yeah, all the time. Because my father was a professor. So, yes. So, and he's a mathematician. So, all the time when you come back after school, you have to go to learn.
Yeah.
So, he don't trust about the future in the football. So, it was so hard. When you come home and you play football, you have a problem.
Yeah.
I always have a problem with my father and with my mom.
Okay, I mean, let me put it this way.
Okay.
Now it's easy. You see, most parents now, like there was a time my brother called me, your son, you need to put him in a football academy, encourage him,
Yeah.
Those days we don't have this, but now they see the future in football. They see how bright footballers, how big they live now.
Yeah.
When was this time? When was the time your father started to be like, okay, my son, if this is what you want,
you
go
can
for
do
it.
Yeah, but it was not that time for me because I left the country. I was so young.
At what age? What age did you leave?
Like I was almost 17 years old when I was leaving. But my mom was not okay with it. But my dad was okay with it. Because like I was so close with my dad. And when he saw I wanted to play football, he was agree with it, but my mom was not agree with it. And when I went to play ball, I had a lot of problems because when I go to Egypt, I was so young. And like, because we were saying 2009, Egypt, and 2008, 2006 and 8, Egypt was already taking 2 African Cup.
Yeah.
So we was thinking like everything was easy when you go to play football over there.
And also, I think there's so much racism.
Yes, in that
Egypt.
moment, like in 2006 and 8, it was a racism because there was not open mind in.
It's way better now.
Yeah.
Exactly. But after I stay without playing like 1 year and a half in Egypt. Yeah, when I went because I was so young. First of all, I could not sign a contract. So my dad, I guess, they was agree with it when I just signed a contract, bro.
Now that you're talking about this, I remember, I think there was a story, I can't place the name. We were talking about this guy. I think he played for Borussia Dortmund. At the time, he couldn't sign his professional contract because he was still 17.
Yes.
So how then did you survive? Like where did you get money to be able to keep up and all that?
No, it was difficult to keep money because like probably my mom, she was working better than my dad. So at least every month she can send me like 100 euro, like 120 euro. At least I can live with it.
Yeah.
But for playing, if that's how we do. Sometimes we have to go with the student because it was student. We was friendly with the student. You have to go with the student. They will cook. You eat with them. You sleep with them.
Yeah.
Even on the winter, sometimes you have to stay with the student because they have a place where they have a call. You can call in Africa like a call center.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the student, they have a card where you can call your family. It's not expensive like when you have the
student is cheaper.
Yeah.
So we was going to stay, all of us, like we was like almost 50 or 70 players.
Yeah.
Like from 70 or 60 players, only 2 people were playing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, maybe you will know Samuel Johnson.
Yeah.
About him. It was only him on first league and another person they call Isiaga on second league. But the rest we was not playing. So we was managing with the student. Because
must
at
be
least
tough.
the student, like there was they have at least some things from the school. They was taking care. So when they cook, they call us, we come, we do them.
And actually, now that he's talking about this, you might have the same experience because growing up and having to deal with our moms wanting us to go to school. Like I remember my mom telling me, like, what will I tell my friends? When we go to the meeting, my friends are telling me my son is a doctor, my son is a lawyer. I'm going to say my son is a football player, you know? But then at the end of the day, like I never lacked football boots. I never lacked football equipment. She will always buy. So I never understood what it meant until I became a bit older. Like no matter how they would say, okay, don't do this, I don't want you to do it. At the end of the day, they always come true for you, you know? So how did your mom feel when you finally signed your first contract and she could see that the money was coming?
She was so happy. She was so happy because I'm the last born, you know. I can understand her in some point also. I was the youngest on the family and I was the first one traveling. But when I signed my first contract, she was so happy because I suffered a lot, you know. When I was calling her sometime, I don't have money, she have to send. She was really happy, you know. And for her, the most important was for me to be better.
Yeah.
Joy, it's really nice these things you say and how your mom supported you even though she was not okay with it. But at the end of the day, you're on your own. I mean, it was your choice. You wanted to make that move. Nobody forced you.
Yes.
Was there a time in that place whereby you feel like, Mom, I think I should come back home?
Like you said, it was my choice to go. And already, because I already took as the choice, I have something I didn't want to disappoint my family also.
Same pressure.
You know? the pressure to disappoint.
Exactly, the family, you know. So I have to keep the courage in me to become something what I wanted to do. Because if I already promised them I can become a something on football, I have to do it.
Yeah.
And I guess at the final, when I did it, I was so proud of what I do. You
So
know?
that was your strength, the fact that you needed to push on. You don't want
Yeah,
to
because and
disappoint
when
the
I was
family.
calling my dad all the time, he was telling me, "You can do it. You know, don't come back."
Yeah.
Sometimes, but sometimes I was thinking,
Some land were
You know,
sold.
let me say a quick
Yeah.
story. You remember when I just came
Yeah.
to Romania? So every time we go to train and we hang out with the guys, and they're asking me, "You're not going home to visit your family?" And they don't understand that with us Africans, it's different.
Yeah.
If you don't make it, you cannot go back home.
Yeah, that's true.
Because when you go home, a lot of people are expecting from you. And
I got
A
a
lot of things.
ticket
Yeah.
from Jisha.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He said, "Let me buy you a ticket to
Yeah.
go home."
Yeah.
I was like, I'll
With
think
what?
about it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. Me, my mom, she was calling me. I will send you a ticket to go back home. But I was always telling her, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I tried to call my dad after. When I call my dad after, he's telling me, no, she's a woman. She will understand like this. You know?
Man,
So I was between both of that.
Yeah.
And also I have some friends with who we was living. Like we have a small room where we was like 10 people living. Like they was telling me, no, when I see some are crying, I see some they have courage. I try to have a courage also to stay with them, you know. But it was not easy because at least, you know, if it's in Europe it's different. You know, there it was not we was making training even with the team of the university.
yeah, of course, that's the difference, you know, us, I mean, in Africa, like in here. Here they have reasons to don't want to train, like, I have headache, I have this, I haven't eaten enough, blah, blah. I mean, even if you're hungry, when it's time for training, you cannot say, I haven't eaten. They'll tell you, go pick your bag, go home.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
so, Joy, when did you start to see, like, okay, this is going to work? I mean, I'm going to have a chance here.
Yes.
I'm going to play football.
It's like we have a game. You know, when the Mercato is coming, the time when the
Transfer, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The transfer is opening. So some agents, they are coming to watch the game.
Okay.
And they know as the player, we don't have a team. We was going to train with the team of the university.
Yeah.
And we had a coach who was putting us to play with them. So we play with them, and one day they make a game. So the agent was there. It was my first agent. He watched the game, and he chose like 3 players. And I was between those 3 players.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but it was not... It was the hardest time was coming now.
Now curious.
It was the most complicated time now.
Yeah.
Because when he chose us, he take us on the team who was so far away. Like he just called me 2 days after, pack all your bag and you have to travel. So I travel, I go to that village. They give us room. We stay, we have like 2 meals. But he wanted to be sure if we can play. We was thinking we are already taken. You know? Exactly. So, and he leave us there. We stay like 1 week. 2 weeks, it was the preparation. It was too hard. Because in Egypt, the preparation, you don't see the ball.
It's physical.
Physical. We was running like 1 week, we just running, you know. We start playing ball only on the next week. So after the 2 weeks, he called the coach. And he asked the coach, how about my boys? The coach tell me, the youngest one is the best one.
And that was you?
Yeah. And the guy asked him, are you sure? He said, yes, the youngest one. The agent was surprised because the other was more older than me. He said, okay.
Yeah, they were more physical.
He was more older than me. You know, so... And another work is starting. I was thinking everything is finished, but he didn't finish it. So the team there, the coach said, okay, I like the young one. I want to sign him. But my manager said, no, I won't sign him there. And me, I told him, no, I'm okay. Me, I was just looking for something where I can play. After all these 1 year and stuff.
Exactly.
How you can tell me I'm not coming? He called me, take your pack, your stuff, and go back to Cairo. Because the city was like 4-5 hours from Cairo. and I have to go back home. I was so sad because first of all, I worked a lot, training, and I was like, I don't want anything. I just want to play.
Just want to play football, man.
So he take me there. I went home, and after 1 week, he called me again. It was another team, Dakhlia, who was in Cairo. And it was the best team in the second league. They wanted to promote in first league. So he speak to the coach. He say, I have a young boy. I want you to see him. He tell me I need to go to that team. They was traveling that day. They was going to Alexandria for the preparation. So he tell me you have to go with them. That's how I went with them. And I have to start another preparation when I already finished with other team. And that team was so complicated to be taken because it was some player who was coming from the first league.
Senior players.
Exactly. I was the most youngest one. So I stayed with them like about 2 weeks. We finished the preparation. Everything was fine, but nobody's telling me nothing. We went to Cairo. We start training. I stayed also with the team 2 weeks. I play friendly game because they wasn't sure I can play because I was so young. You know, so I stay with the team. I stay with them long, like almost 1 month and a half. It's after 1 month and a half. They say, so the league was coming to start like 2-3 weeks. And the coach say, okay, I will take the boy. But they have to meet someone from the embassy who can be like my dad.
Because you're not 18 yet.
Exactly. I was young, so he can take the guarantee.
Yeah.
Like if anything happen,
He will stand for you.
Exactly. That's how it was my first time to go to the club. I entered to the club. We signed the contract, and I was like, wow, it was not trustable because I could not trust I can play in that team. Yeah, it was his police team because that moment the police team was the best team. So when I signed the first contract, I called my family. They were so happy, and everyone was surprised. Like even my friend who was in Egypt, everyone was surprised, and that's how they gave me a room. Who I was like two other players. So that's how we started.
Did you start believing from there?
Yeah, because after the friendly games and the preparation, I become starting the game. Like I started becoming important. Like the coach started to speak with me more. In the friendly games, he was already putting me to play. And I tried to get in confidence.
And nothing gives confidence to a player more than like the coach coming to you and saying,
yes, exactly. And at the same time, I was not with them like from the beginning because I already started to play with them and they see I have a quality. They start to be more friendly with me. And some of my friends was telling me, okay, you can play, don't be afraid. And with the encouragement. And the coach, the most important, he was playing me difficult game.
To see.
Yeah. But he was trusting me also.
Yeah.
And I was always like, why I'm playing. After he speak with the agent, he tell him I will play. Even in the league, he will play. So from that, I started believing the team will go.
So that's where the journey started?
Yeah, that's how the journey started. And it was a long journey. It was not easy.
What he's saying, I remember when I went to Metallo.
Yeah.
So when I signed in Metallo, like the whole story of me signing, like it was a whole journey.
Okay.
Because when I left Senetatia, I got a call to go to Poli Timisoara.
Okay.
He drove me overnight.
Okay.
The next morning we arrived in Poli, I had to go train for the coach to see if he liked me.
Yeah.
I played first half, he told me, no, you can go and rest. I'm signing you.
Yeah.
So now there was a battle between Poli and Senetatia. Poli wanted to buy me, Senetatia wanted to give me on loan.
Okay.
So it was a whole struggle. And I went on pre-season with Poli for almost a month.
Yeah.
But at the end, I didn't sign.
Yeah.
So I was on my way coming back to Cluj when he called me again and said, look, they want you to go to Bucharest. Back to Cluj, I didn't even arrive Cluj. I went straight to Bucharest. I didn't rest. The next day, I had to go to train. So just I understand what you went through.
Yeah.
And even when I got to Bucharest, when I started to play, they were like, no, we are sorry, we cannot take you because, you know, in Europe, they have a law. I mean, in Romania,
Yes.
they can take only 6 players that are not Europeans.
Yeah.
So they couldn't take me.
Yeah, okay.
So now the next morning, remember we were on the phone and I told you I was eating in a canteen where everyone comes to eat.
Yeah.
And my coach at Metallo then, he was Coach Bogdan Andon. He was passing by and he saw me. And he was like, are you playing here? And I said, no, I'm eating. After this, I'm leaving. Okay. And he said, but why? I told him the whole story. And he called Senataja and said, no, I want him to come. He didn't see me play. He just looked at me physically and he said, I want him. The next day I went to training, my first training session, I blew his mind away.
Yeah.
And the next morning he called me to his office. He gave me the whole game plan for the whole season. Yeah. Like I was ready to play.
Yes. Okay.
When I started to play, like friendly games, remember I told you like there was a guy who was playing in my position.
Okay.
So the coach had spoken with me and he told me like, so the guy was more of a defensive midfield.
Okay.
So the coach told me that he wanted me and him to play, but I will be more box to box and he will be defensive midfield. But he didn't know.
Okay.
You know when you come to a team and they're like old guys in the team.
While the other guy is kind of
so he didn't know
thinking he's
because
the main man.
The coach too was a new coach in the team and he didn't know who to trust yet. You know?
Yeah.
So the guys who were in the team, they didn't know his plan, but I knew his plan.
Yeah.
So now we started to come every day at training. The coach noticed that like there was some because they were thinking, you know, when the coach makes his first 11, you know who's going to play and who's not going to play. So they were thinking now that he's trying to bench the other guy, but they didn't know he was just trying to see how to manage it.
Or
and
they
who
are
to
thinking
trust.
You come to take someone position in the team, you know?
You know, so he went behind and spoke to the team manager.
Yeah.
And now the coach said, look, one person has to go, either the coach or him. And he left.
Yeah.
But if he would have just been patient to see what the coach was trying to do, he would have seen that the coach wanted me and him to play together.
Yeah. But in my point also, he didn't have confidence on himself, you know.
Exactly. But another thing, when you said then that you were training with those guys, nobody was talking. The coach was not talking. Manager was not talking. Sometimes it creates uncertainty, but you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Like you can imagine after the coach took you to his office and explained his plan for you, no matter the side talk, what you hear, I mean, that already gave you an extra confidence, you know, an extra belief that I'm rocking this no matter what they do. You can
for me,
say whatever you want, you know.
It was so funny because the secretary of the club, because it was big club, he was telling to the coach, who is this kid you bring?
Yeah.
Because, you know, he was living with the bonus of the game. He don't play with the bonus of the game.
Yeah.
But he want the coach to bring only player can make the team to win. So the guy, when I was coming, even to give him food to greet me, he was changing his face when he see me. He was not happy when he see me. Like, he's the one who we are going to take the clothes with him. You know, when I go, if I have to wear small, he's giving me large. He's not even continuing on the player. Yeah. But after, like, I guess after 3, 4, 5 games, he was giving me all the food I wanted.
But, you know, that can do a lot.
It was disturbing me too much because, like, he was always like, no, what the coach is doing. We want to promote, and me, I'm living with the bonus game. This kid cannot make us to win.
Yeah. But this is football because you remember I told you back then in Metallo Globos, I told you that after the first game, like everyone started to come close to me because now they saw that the coach had reason to put me.
Yes.
You know? So it all depends like if you have the ability actually.
So for me, I usually have a saying that I'm not always I'm not a prison. I mean, I don't try to prove people that I can do it.
Okay.
You know, usually if you think I cannot do it, I let you watch and see. Within me, it's a challenge, which I try to make you look stupid. At the end of the day, that you didn't even know me. You didn't take your time to know me, you know. But I also try to make you see that I'm not a prisoner of your opinion.
Yes.
You know, but what I'm going to ask you is, they thought you were small. I mean, you were a little boy. You know, does that made you want to just embarrass them in the field sometimes? Like, you think I'm small? Catch me if you can.
I could not do that because I was looking for work. You know?
Yeah.
And it was like my future, you know, in my hand. And I could not play with it. Like, I have to try to do my best in that moment to prove to the coach, you have right to take me.
Yeah.
And the others are wrong.
Okay, now you don't want to let the coach down.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the coach too, like, it's him is taking all the decision, but, you know, the staff technical, if it's like around him, like 5 people who he's talking, telling, though, this player is not good, why are you taking this kid? He can change his mind. You know? Because some coach are listening a lot.
You know what Samuel had to go through then?
Yeah.
That Samuel kind of, it's like when he was playing for San Antonio then, like everyone was like sidelining him, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the biggest mistake San Antonio did in their entire time of being a football club was starting him in a match. You know, after that match, you know, nobody want to see him sit on the bench anymore. But if he had not performed, can you imagine what he would
What was happening?
I told you, man. This guy, you know, then they start calling names.
Yeah, but you know that one is not easy because it's playing with your mentality also.
Yeah.
When you play
No matter how strong you are as a footballer, it plays with your mentality.
With your mentality. And see, me, like for me, it was really different because when you stay 1 year and half in the country, you never even go to training on the team. And they put you on the team and the coach want to take you and all around the coach, nobody want to pick you.
Yeah.
See, as a footballer,
imagine how is it? I say the guy even the clothes is not giving me. The coach is telling him to give me the clothes to go to train.
He's giving you
yeah. Because he's the one who is responsible of it. You know. No, the guy he didn't like me at all. But after we become a best friend.
Yeah.
So going forward, Joel, how was it like? Like after. How long did you stay in the police team?
In the police team, I stayed 3 years. And when it was the revolution, I went 6 months loan and I came back. Like I played there 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
4 years. Let's say 4 years in Egypt. So moving forward, how did you make that big move from Egypt?
It's in Egypt when I go to MP.
Yeah.
Like because when we promote, because in second league we stay 2 years, we promote with the club. We play 1 year first league.
Yeah.
And after I transfer to the MP, it was a petroleum company. And they was playing at the third. I start chopping.
You start chopping
because they pay my club $100,000 so I can leave. But it was complicated because I have to meet the president, you know, and the president was the Ministry of the Interior. So when they tell him I want to leave, he called me and the police was around me on his office.
Push.
He tell me I have to tell him in front of him I want to leave his team if I'm a man.
Yeah. Wait. Did you watch the podcast with Obi Mikel when he was telling his story how Manchester United locked him up in the house and forced him to sign because Chelsea wanted him and he couldn't sign because the same situation with you.
He was the president was the Ministry of Interior. Like he's too strong.
You ain't going anywhere, man.
Yeah, exactly. They bring me on his office. And it was, nobody want to come inside. Everyone was afraid. I could not tell him I have to leave the team.
Yeah.
Because he tell me, he tell me, he think I'm a gay. You want to leave my team. He called even the director sportive of the club, who was the Petroleum Club. The guy said he didn't say nothing.
Yeah. Wow.
Really?
It's at the final, the coach have to speak to him to say, okay, you already did everything. Let him to go so he can grow. It was the only one reason he was angry.
I'm gonna hit a big one right now.
Yeah.
So I watched one of your interview where you make mention of Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, I mean, if you look back right now, was there a time whereby you look at Sadio Mane and be like, we should have been in the same level? And of course, things happen along the way. Yeah. But do you have a personal relationship with him? And just in case, yes, do you once in a while exchange texts or what really went wrong? Why haven't played together?
Yeah.
And what was that decision that made the difference between you and Sadio Mane?
That is a good question. First of all, it's because I wanted to stay in national team a lot. Because of national team, I miss a lot of things. Because when I was in Egypt and we finished third of the league, I guess we playing African Confederation. I went to national team. So I have a more proposition. So on my head, if I stay in Egypt, continue to play, I will continue to go to national team because it's a dream of all young boy in Africa to go national team. And I took it too serious.
So wait, did you have like offers to maybe come to Europe?
Yes. I have an offer when I went to MB in a club in second league. The offer was in the table.
Yeah.
Yes, but I never leave. But also, my salary was good there. I was good there. Like almost I was, if you...
Yeah, I know Egypt is...
4 or 5 players, I was almost the 4 or 5... Imagine in 2012, 13, when they buy a player for $100,000.
Because I know like Abu Trika, Fatih, all those players, like they have offers to come to Europe, but they say no.
That's why they never go. In that moment, that's why they never go, because everything was okay.
Egyptian national team.
Exactly. In that moment, they don't want to travel.
You know, like first time I played with Jojo, I can't remember the first day we played. I called you after the game. I said, this guy, what's he doing here?
Yeah, because I was playing Saudi before I come here. And you know, it's a long story, like a football player story.
So wait, hold on.
It's a long story.
No, we have to hear the story.
No. We will get to Saudi. Before we go to Saudi, John. But the quick question is like, it was your choice to stay there, to stay back home.
But also they didn't wanted me to leave also.
But did you regret it?
Yes, of course, I regret it. I regret it because, like, and I didn't took attention. My problem was I didn't took attention. Like, I was all the season, like, I was scoring goals and I was finishing in good player. I was like, okay, I'm good here. I was not thinking because I was receiving offers and the director sportive was telling me I receive offers from this team and people was calling me this offer. Like, I was not forcing because for me, it was okay. I already playing. It's at the last moment I wanted to wake up when it was already a bit late.
The problem is because, like, you know, sometimes you need someone who is there guiding you, and you know, like when I came here, I had you who was like, do this. So you need to have someone.
We're on camera. Say that again.
Your head is big now.
Say it again, my friend.
I don't really talk. We don't pass.
Again.
No.
I bet.
I repeat that again.
I said you were there. You were guiding me.
You hear that, right?
I don't
What's
get
the time?
See your head.
Okay. Today's 24, right?
April.
Okay.
It's on camera, John. It's on camera.
Okay.
So that is it. And you see, you was playing in big club. You traveling, playing against Ali. When you playing your Trika, we play against Salah. So that's why I was not thinking to leave. I was already okay there. That was the point. But I regret it because the football in Europe is football in Europe. Like whatever.
Of course.
Yeah.
The football is...
It's night and day.
Exactly. But in Egypt, the first league is different also, you know.
But I think in countries like Egypt, Tanzania, Tunisia, Morocco, South Africa, the level is...
Egypt is different. It's different because when you take El Ali, even they are playing soon the World Cup champion, you know, it's different. You're playing...
It's another level, man.
It is another level. And the stadium there, even the last first league, they have a big stadium, every infrastructure.
Yeah, that's the
how was the atmosphere like with
it's crazy.
derbies when there was a derby?
No, it's crazy.
That's between Zamalek and
we play against Zamalek. I guess like 11 people died. When we was the second of the league and Zamalek was the third. We was playing and people was fighting because the game. I remember that game. It was crazy. We was playing with. It's when we come to the second half.
Yeah.
We see on the television like people dead, like 11 people. It's crazy. It's crazy. The derby there is different. Like it's another atmosphere.
Yeah.
But it's good. They like football.
So, like, back to the national team.
Yeah.
I know you played with Nabi Keita.
Yes.
So, what was like the level? Like, when you got to the national team, what was the level?
It's different. It's too fast, you know. like it's different. It's different because at the national team, you guys are friends only on the room, but when you arrive at the stadium, it's different. Everyone is looking for the position. Everyone want to play.
Yeah.
Mostly when the game is at home, the family are there, the parents are there. You have your girlfriend. Everyone want to show up. So Nabi is my guy. We play since I'm young, so it was easy when we meet at the national team.
Yeah. They used to call him Deco.
Deco. Yes. But it's like when you saw his story, you will understand, like, I guess since I play ball or I meet the football players, I never see a person who suffer in football like him.
We got to look for Nabi.
Yeah, because like he was really coming for the poor family, honestly.
Yeah.
And he went like 2-3 times in Europe and he never had
the chance.
Yeah. The last time when he went, in that moment, he has to stay, even he don't have it, to stay on one of my friends, they call Landel. Oman. Now how he play with the guy paper on Easter. That's how Easter take it. Yeah. But I never see someone who struggle like him on the football. That's why he deserve to play Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nabi, if you come your home today, he can sleep on your place and play ball.
Yeah.
Everywhere they take him to play ball.
Now I understand because
it's a blessing.
Yeah. I think he had a scandal one time at Leipzig where one player disrespected him and he started fighting.
Yes.
Now I understand things like that can annoy people.
You know where it comes from, you don't disrespect him.
He struggled a lot.
So I think we can ask about the transition now from Egypt to Saudi.
I mean, that's the one you try to keep. Tell us about Saudi Arabia.
No, what? So let's say, like you said, the director of the team, the president, they did not want you to leave.
Yes.
So what finally happened? Like you left from Egypt to Saudi?
No, I didn't leave. That moment I was going to OMB.
Yeah.
It's a team also in Egypt.
Yeah.
So I played with them also 3 years. And after I leave, that's how I went to Saudi for another club.
So has Saudi always been like this with all the money, or it just started now?
No, Saudi, they always have money. In Egypt too, they have money also.
Yeah.
Yes, Egypt, Saudi, they always have money. It's the same.
But how did that call came in?
Yeah.
Saudi.
They call?
Yeah.
But when you play in Egypt, the Saudian people, they are looking to the Egyptian league.
There's a connection there.
Yeah, exactly. They are looking to the Egyptian league. Yeah, they are taking the best players always to the Egyptian. It's too easy when you play in Egypt to go to Saudi. Like now they change it. They're taking a lot of players from Europe, But if you play in Egypt, it's easy to go as a foreign player. Yes.
I think they are part of the Arab, the Gulf.
Because it's also Egyptian agent who are working with Saudian agent. So they have contact there with Saudian clubs. So they're signing players there.
So, but your manager brought the news about Saudi, and he discussed with you about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, take us through. How did you feel? What was your reaction? Did you eventually take the phone back to mom again and be like...
No, but they was already used at it because now we are speaking about after... I went to Saudi after 6 years. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean, it's like a breakthrough, No,
they was already used at it because 6 years, 3 years in Dahalia, 6 months in Oman, 3 years in MB. So the mom was not... She was okay now, Because anyway, those 6 years, I was always going to vacation. Exactly. I was going to vacation, staying with her.
Yeah.
She was already knowing I'm okay. I don't have a problem. So things changed.
So how was life generally?
What's the difference between Egypt and Saudi Arabia? What was the difference like?
I can say it was not a big difference for me. The difference was the difficulty of the football, because in Egypt I have a lot of colleagues. Like when I was playing in NBA, I have a quality colleague, but when they brought me from Egypt to Saudi, I had the more pressure because they was expecting from me more, because it was not a lot of quality players. So I have to help the team to win. I have to do so. That was the difference.
It was all on your shoulder.
Exactly. The most of it. And the quality of players are not the same in the team,
Yeah.
Because...
Well, So on this podcast, he likes to focus more on the mentality and
Yeah.
So I'll ask you, like, was there a moment between Egypt and Saudi, like, where there was like so much pressure on you that you had to, like, was there any spiritual or was there any mental meltdown that you had to sit and was like, it might be over? Like, was it that period?
Yes. On both of team. Because in Egypt, like I will start with Egypt, if you lose the team, like you lose the game and you come to the room if you didn't play good, even your colleagues, they don't want to tell you hi. It's like you are in the cemetery.
Yeah.
It's like you are in the cemetery. It's not like, that's why I saw the big difference with Europe, In Egypt, if you lose the game, you enter to the room, it's like a cemetery. Like if you're coming and joking, the coach can sack you.
Yeah.
So that's why Ronaldo still takes it personal.
Yeah. It's not like it's stressful because as a football player, you are human being also. You cannot play all the games good.
But how did you deal with those stress?
Yeah.
Because you did it obviously you didn't win all the games.
Yeah, that's how you already have a stress. Like that's how you learn to be more stronger with the mentality. Like you go out small with your friends, your families. You try to forget and prepare the next game to make everyone to forget what happened last week.
Makes sense.
Yeah, in Egypt it's like this. When you finish the game, you don't play good. Even when you want to forget, you cannot forget. The only one thing they can forget if you are playing good next game.
But the next game, does he wipe the last game if you win?
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, okay, was there a period in your career that changed you let's say that changed your mentality of how you used to see things before? Like, was there something that happened to you during your career, like, which made you sit down and think, like, now I have to do things differently?
Yes. When you play football and you see a lot of things, you will see things differently. Like, first of all, for me, when I see the young players or the young boys, I think it's more easier for them to become a football player, to become successful, and to help their family if they want.
Yeah, I think it's more easier now.
You understand? And only if they want. Because it's asking a lot of sacrifice. And it's not everyone can do the sacrifice in this time now. To play ball. But if you think about your family, you want to help your family, you have to do it.
So
because I see people who they stay like 3 days without eating, 4 days without eating. They drink only water, only small thing.
And they still go to training.
Yeah. Me, one day I went to training, I vomit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't eat.
What did you vomit?
Bro, I used to watch the time.
It's like you can fall down,
Let me tell you a quick story. Like when I was still back home in Cameroon, there was a time. So where I was living to go for training was like almost 20 kilometers, and I had to walk because if I take a taxi, if I take the bus, like when we go to train, usually they give you 500 francs CFA. That's like 300 naira or so. So which is like your daily prime d'entraînement, So when you go to train, after train they give you 500. So you're thinking in your head, you have to buy something to eat or you pay transport. If you pay transport to go home, you don't have what to eat. So I have to strategize and say, okay, I will walk halfway and pay the rest or buy something to eat. So it was difficult, man.
And also, like, the positive things is also, like, in the football also, even you don't reach that big level what you expect. At least if you play football like you guys did today, this is something so good. Because football is something now, is the best thing now almost in the world. Like, you can use you have to use the opportunity as you play football.
It comes.
Exactly. Like, you can work on everything. Like, you guys are doing this podcast. Like, it's not something you guys will maybe see. It's small. It's not small. You can come more bigger. Have more players who will come. More agent. And become a big podcast. Like me, by example, I start to moving with agency to work with all my old agents for players. Like, small. So it's something also you think it's when it's not. That's why for me, when I see the young boys who are playing, I guess they can do a lot of things with football.
Yeah.
Everything is not is positive and
I think now like there's more visibility now.
yeah.
Yeah, with social media,
And
TikTok,
things,
Instagram.
and things are easy,
yeah.
you know. The parents are not telling you to not play ball, you
Yeah.
know, and you have more connection. You can have more people who can help you
Yeah.
to put you somewhere where you can play.
Yeah, but Joe, it's very easy to also think of it that way. That
Yeah.
they have a better opportunity now.
Yeah.
Looking at Joel,
Yeah.
looking at Joel,
Yeah.
looking at myself,
Yeah.
we always dream for the opportunity to come.
Okay.
At some point in our life, it came. And at some point in our life, we didn't have it anymore based on some certain circumstances. Now,
Okay.
so, and the truth is that there are times I think back and I wish someone told me some certain things
Yes.
coming up as a football player, as a goalkeeper, or as a midfielder, or as yourself, as a winger,
Yeah.
which could have helped shape my career better, you know. So, looking at your experience from Guinea to Egypt, Saudi Arabia to Romania, now, there are things now that you understand better that a lot of young players don't understand coming up. They only look at the fame.
Yes.
They see the joy, the money that comes with football. But there are things that they were not told. There are things that agency doesn't really tell them before embarking them on a journey. So if you are to advise these young players right now,
Yes.
what would they put into consideration before even accepting an offer to leave their country, not even knowing exactly where they are going?
The first really like what you said, you know, if you are playing football, for me, the most important for the young player, he has to play football first for passion, not the fame and the money is looking. Because if you're playing for passion, you're working hard, the money and the fame will come fastly in the football, you know, because like if you're choosing, like it's easy, you see a young player like Yamal, is how old, 17, 18 years old, he's playing Barcelona. He's already have a fame at a young age.
First, he enjoyed
But
what he
like,
did.
I wasn't saying it's easier nowadays. I was just saying there's more visibility. Because
Like
when we were coming up, there was no social media. And like nowadays you hear like there's a lot of academies all over Africa. There's a lot of agents going.
yeah, exactly.
But in our time, I don't think.
No.
For example, me, I grew up in the English-speaking part of Cameroon.
Yeah.
There was no agents who used to come around, but in the French-speaking part, once in a while they used to come. So I think, but now everybody is like, you see, you're juggling the ball, you're putting on social media, it's going viral.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, that as
It's not
good
to
as
cut
that
you,
is, it's not all the way you see it. You know, you can see these things on social media going viral, but you don't have a concrete advice. I'll tell you, I'll give you a good example. Back in Nigeria, I had some Cameroonians that were living in my place, as my neighbor. They were students also. And one of them, I think his name was, we'll call him Bobo, you know. And he said that in Cameroon, now that you said so, I now think that maybe it's from the Francophone, the French part of Cameroon. He said they have some good academy, which that they put you in a school. You go to school, they pick you up from school. From there, you go to play football, train. You have everything you want, you know. So
that's Brasserie Football School. It's in the French speaking.
So he said it was one of the best in Africa then. That was tempting, you know. Then all I keep telling my friends that there's a football academy in Cameroon. I would like to go there. Just from that one statement he made. But I never really knew what was going on there. So if I'm to advise any young player now, I would say don't just be carried away by what you heard or what you see on social media. Play it for passion. Love what you do. Just do it like you want to do it. And the opportunity hits you. So that's why I say, with your experience, how would you advise any young player right now that call you, Joy, I want to play football. I would like to sign this team. What do you think? What will you advise that player?
Always
not even sign. Let's say a 10-year-old from Africa calls you now.
Always the young players with whom I speak. I ask them the first question if they really want to play. When he told me he want to play ball. Because it's kind of attitude. It's me when I look to the young players. Because me, when I wanted to play, like If I tell you, like, my first girlfriend, I have it like when I'm 20, 21 years old. You cannot trust. I never know a woman if I don't before I reach 20, 21 years old. I will just focus on football. Not like you are saying, not the fame stuff. No.
Yeah.
I was with all my friends. I never touched alcohol until I become a professional. If I told you want to.
In other words, what he's saying is there are too many distractions now.
Too many.
Exactly. So
bro.
if you can pass that for me, yeah, you want to play ball. Because if you are young and you are doing all that, you won't go far. Even you are the best player.
Can I just say something quick? It might be off guard, but it's a bit fun. You know, have you trained so hard?
Yeah.
At some point that your coach look at you like this, and he look at you like, this guy look like a rock. He's so stiff that he can't even, his pivot is so blocked now, like that you train so hard that every part of your muscles is so blocked. And this coach kind of suggest, Joe, man, when was the last time you last?
No, I didn't have it because I wasn't, honestly, I'm telling you, like, all what I do, by example, now and before is when I start playing football and getting everything.
Yeah, when the money started to come.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think what he's trying to say, for example, now, the distractions.
I didn't have time for it, honestly, because I know where I was coming from. I wanted to take my family from there. Even when I was going out with my friends somewhere, I was the first one who was coming home. I sacrificed all that because, like, even I didn't give all to my family. I give them something. I sacrificed that for that. For me, as a young player, like, when we say it's easier, we're telling that because it's not easier to be a football player. We're telling it's easier because first thing, the parent can give you now money to go to play ball in Africa. And before it was not that. Because now they know it's a money in the football.
You want to play, you got to work for it.
Exactly.
Barefooted.
You know? But for me, what is in my mind, as if you sacrifice everything as a young player, you concentrate only on the football, after you will have everything. When you have it, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. That's what we always tell these guys nowadays. And now that you mentioned this, before I signed for Metallo, I'll tell you our routine. We used to train every day, Monday to Sunday, 3 times. 5 a.m., 5 p.m., 12 midnight.
Yes.
While everyone is out partying, me and him, we are out running. While everyone is sleeping, we are out partying.
Yeah.
So, like, if you are not laser focused, it's difficult to make it.
And when he got to Timisoara, his first 2 training sessions, the coach instantly said, "Well, you are there. They are here.
You see,
have you been training?
You know, because when you are young now, you become a professional. You have everything. Nobody will tell you to not do what you want to do.
Very true.
You can do whatever you want. For me, it's my point. You can do whatever you want because you will have everything. You have the freedom. Like, if you play in professional, you have the money. You want a beautiful girl. You just buy a ticket, have a holidays with them.
Don't you think like this could also be a valid point here? Yeah. Don't you think that this kind of, I know, don't get it, I'm not I'm not disputing the discipline here. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that maybe, just maybe, this kind of lifestyle is the reason most of the black players that eventually hit it hard in football, made it go astray so quick. They go astray as faster than they made it.
Let me give my opinion on this. Maybe you have an opinion. Let me give my opinion.
Okay.
The difference, like the cultural shock I had when I came to Europe first, is with us in Africa. First thing is you have to deal with school, poverty, suffering, and everything else. Your parents telling you cannot be a footballer, you have to go to school. Yeah. But in Europe, you see kids for as little as 5 years, they are already taking them to école de formation. They're already training them. Yeah. You know? So from very young, they are trained to become a professional football player. Yeah. So, but with us, there's a lot of suffering. The whole family, like, there's this guy who's playing for Brighton now. I can't remember his name. He's from a family of 9, I think.
Yeah.
And he's from a poor family.
Yeah.
So everyone else is looking up to him. So just imagine when you finally make it, now you have money and the pressure from home, everyone is expecting from you. But in Europe, it's different.
Yeah, because they have a balance.
There's a balance.
From beginning. You know,
get the point.
I guess the home pressure is not a big pressure, bro. When you are professional, you can give them money. It's not the big pressure.
No, it's not even about the pressure. What I'm saying is like probably the environment where you come from. Just having so much money and then realizing, but I was poor just 2 years.
I worked so hard for this.
For this.
Let me enjoy myself. And then you get carried away.
Yeah.
And you lose focus.
You will lose.
Easily.
You will lose focus as well. That's sure. 100%.
That's why you see, bro. Like
because you will be getting something you will never realize you will get it on your life.
We lose focus faster than them.
Yes,
bro.
yes.
That's why you hear the stories with Brazilians. Like
it's the same.
Ronaldinho was going to the club every weekend.
It's the same way like ours.
Because he wanted it so bad that now he have it. Why can't he enjoy it? And before you know, I'll train tomorrow, I'll train the other day, I'll train the other day. And before you know,
I will go club. I play today. I don't care. If the coach suck me, I will go to another team. It's not a problem. I score already 3, 4, 5 goals, you know. And imagine he was starting. We have a problem even in Africa. Like even the field while we start to playing. It's also different in Europe. Yeah. We don't have a gazonier field where we have a gazonier field. You understand?
Yeah,
so you pass all that through. Imagine when you see a Gucci t-shirt where you was dreaming about it since you are young. You just coming like you never see Gucci t-shirt on your life. You just coming and taking it and just putting it to go. Yeah. Imagine it's not easy to deal with it also. Like I don't blame people for it. But for us, it's not easy to deal with it also. Because the things you never have it, since you're dreaming for it, you get it easily like this. How you will deal with it?
True. But I really agree. And I also agree with the fact that it's not a pressure to help your family member if you make it, because it's easy. But don't you think it's a pressure
for
you
me,
put
it's
on
not
yourself
pressure,
when you think that you're here to play football? But instead of you taking care of yourself, taking care of your mental health, trying to play football, enjoy your game, you're thinking, I have to make it because I don't want to disappoint them back home.
For me, it's a pressure when you think you don't want to disappoint home. But to help the family, I guess, when you're playing is an obligation. Because when you think the kind of life you're living and they are living, of course you have to give them something.
Exactly.
You understand? Even it's not everything you are willing. And like a small thing, when you give them back home, it become a big thing anyway. And that will not disturb nothing on you if you are playing the football.
Who was first to be disappointed when you stopped playing professional football?
Disappointed?
Yeah.
No.
So wait, before you answer that, let's rephrase the question.
Yeah.
So his career ended because he had several injuries.
Okay.
My career ended because of several injuries.
Yes.
That's why we have this podcast.
Yes.
So was there an injury that ended your career?
No, I have a problem with some agents. That's why.
Agent issue.
Yes.
So it seems like every footballer.
Can we just not talk about agents?
It seems like every footballer has this story, bro.
Yeah, and it was one agent who I helped a lot. Because when I was even leaving Egypt to Saudi, I gave him a contact of one Qatarian agent who needed the players. I give to him and he bring like almost 4 or 5 players there. He did some kind of things on my CV and I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
It's after I realized it. When I contacted the agency, they told me the agency, and he was part of that agency. And it's someone who I know.
Yeah. And I know a lot of situations like this. I will not mention names.
Yes.
I know guys whose careers have ended because their agents seized their passports or their agents didn't want to accept an offer from a club.
Yeah.
And they frustrated this guy so much. He actually has a similar story, but that's something for another day. Mm-hmm. So what was your situation like?
The guy, he ended my career because he did something with my CV. He should not do it, you know. He changed a lot of things on my CV and I didn't realize it. And that was my point to come to Europe because I was thinking I could fix it in Europe.
Yeah.
Yes, but I could not. because I already become a player. It was not possible to change it.
Yeah.
And he made it. And me, I didn't take attention because I was playing. I was active. You know? I was not even calculating that. And I didn't know it.
Bro, like the first day I saw you play, I thought probably you were playing for Sheffield.
I didn't know. I come from Saudi. I was playing directly. Normally, I have to go back to Saudi. They give me only 1 week back holidays. But when I came, it was already December and everything was closed. So I have to wait to make my permits. And I was thinking I could fix that problem. The club was calling me always, I have to come. But I could not come. Because I was thinking I can end the problem. And I know the guy. That was the big problem. Messed up everything. So,
but why, I mean, when and why did you decide you want to come to Romania? Was there...
It's when I was in Saudi, I realized what the guy do.
So do you still talk up to today?
No, I can never talk with that guy. In this life, I can never talk with that guy.
So much.
I can never talk with that guy. I can never talk with him. It's not possible.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just the reason. And it's like he signed like 4 or 5 years in Qatar.
Yeah.
But I give him the number of the agents.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the reason. If not, so that is it.
So wait, let's circle a bit. So as athletes, as football players, we all define success in different ways.
Okay.
For me personally, my success was if my career had gone a different way, even though I think, and he knows, I gave my all.
Okay.
And I know my parents are proud and they know I did. That's for me, that's success.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So how do you define being successful as a football player?
Normally, like, first of all, like, for sure the family is proud because I tell them I will play football. But for me, the fact, like, I have a dream to play in the national team and I played, if it's not for long, I'm proud of what I did because it's not everyone is lucky to play on national team, you know?
Yeah.
And today, because of that in Guinea, like, I guess I have a credit with home.
Yeah.
When I go home, I have like...
You have a name.
A name, exactly.
Yeah,
people know me. And these things are easier for me when I arrive. I need some kind of things, administration, document and stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy for me.
It's easy. Yeah.
I guess I didn't want to stop football without playing national team, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is it.
So, and
honestly, like all of us, it's not because you didn't arrive where you want to arrive, you didn't do your best. No.
Yeah.
I don't think about that.
Yeah.
For sure you did your best. And for sure something stop on your way. You don't have hand on it.
Yeah.
If it's just depending on you, you could do it.
Yeah.
Because you start by struggling to arrive in that point. Even, yes, we are speaking like you are enjoying, you're doing, but when you see your career, you are living it, you're coming back and trying to do better, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, before you go, like, I want to ask him, like, if you were to talk to your 17-year-old self back in Egypt, what advice will you give him?
The advice I will give him is just to focus on football. Because for me, football is the best thing can happen to someone and it's the worst thing can happen to someone if you don't take care.
That one sings very well. Thank you very much. I want to take you here, like Romania.
Yes.
You know, you've been in Romania for how long now?
Now it's 3 years, yes.
3 years in Romania.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, you still, because I know you're playing a lower league team right now, just to keep the body also going, because it's not really what you want professionally right now anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you got to Romania and you've seen some of these teams here, did you still believe that something could happen, or you knew that it was actually time to just say, okay, I'm done?
No, if I didn't have that problem, something could happen.
Yeah.
Yes, because I
told you he was too good to be playing.
We have, like, you know, when you are training every day you just don't have nothing to do. Only the football is different.
Yeah.
As you play before professional, it will take time for you, but you will will have adaptation.
Yeah.
Because like I think where we come from, the football is more complicated, you know.
Yeah. And I think, like, let me just cut you. Sorry. I think one other thing I forgot to mention was us coming from Africa. There's one big situation that is always hovering ahead: the document issue.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just focused on football. You're focused. You're behind your mind. You're thinking,
a lot of
my wrestling permit is expiring.
Exactly.
What will I do?
Exactly.
So that's something that.
And it's different also. Like it's depend on the city where you come in.
Yeah.
Like by example, if you come into Cluj, what I saw, different from other country, as a football players, what I didn't see here is make it complicated for people. Like normally when it's a mercato or it's a transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, you have some agent who are working already. People are meeting, they are getting training. And people are coming to see the players and taking them to the team, at least for trials.
Yeah.
But, like, even for other players who want to play, it won't be easy.
Yeah. Look, Joy, I remember one time, you and I, we had a discussion, and it was an argument, but I don't know, maybe now with the way things are going, you kind of succumb to it and say, yeah, you probably were right. We were talking about plan B. Yeah. And I said, no matter what in life, it's always good to have a plan B. Yeah. And you said you can always have that plan, stick to it, believe in it, believe God will do it. Mm-hmm. And I said, no matter what, even if I'm taking an exam, I always believe, what if I don't pass? Mm-hmm. So it means that I have left a room for negative, just to be prepared in case it happens, not to be taken by surprise.
Okay.
We talk about it at some point, but later on, you later realize that, plan B is good. What I'm trying to say now, I wanted to play football to the highest level.
Okay.
I couldn't. Today, I'm a medical assistant.
Okay.
He wanted to do the same. Today, he's an IT engineer.
Okay.
You wanted to do the same. Today, you're into show business. Yeah. You working for American Express. Yeah. So, can we just all agree here that for the purpose of the audience and the upcoming footballers or athletes that want to go higher, that it's always a good thing to have a plan B just in case? Or does that really make you feel like you're not determined or you don't believe in yourself enough?
No, you need to have a plan B. Because in the football, you can get injury. Even the big players who even don't have problem. Like they wasn't playing in good level and the good injury, they cannot play anymore. Like see Pogba. Yeah. Like normally, even he don't have a plan B. Like one time they just suspended him because I don't know what happened. He took something and
we don't know.
Yeah. Exactly.
We don't know for sure.
And you can have injury and you cannot play football anymore. It's not about the confidence, but when we see what is happening with the football player after the career, that for sure you need to have a plan B.
Yeah.
Because after you cannot you cannot play football. Yeah. As it's a good job, like
it's not something you do all your life.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And also, like I would say, I've come to the realization. This is my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to influence anyone.
Okay.
It's not everything that you put your mind to that you can achieve.
Yes.
I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because growing up from as young as I can remember, I put my mind solely to football. I was focused on football, but I'm an IT engineer today.
Yeah.
You're a medical assistant, like you said. He's into show business. He's doing so many other things.
Yeah, but even it's some players, like you grow with them. They was better player than you, but they could not play ball.
They could not play.
I've said this to you before, and I'm saying this now on air that Isaac Promise, Isaac Promise. I think he's a cousin or brother of Odion, one Odion who used to play for Croatia. Isaac Promise played in Watford, right?
Yeah. Okay.
When I was training with my guys, my cousin, some other guy, Yobo, who is in Germany now, Isaac Promise was picking the balls for us. When we kick the ball, he go inside the ball. Exactly. He was going to the bush to pick the ball, bringing the ball for us. And now Promise was playing in Watford. I was in Romania. Probably doing some,
exactly. It's when you change the situation.
Exactly.
Like someone who you was not even expecting, you become a professional player.
This table can turn around very easily.
Exactly.
And you need to be prepared for what is coming. That's where a lot of people get disappointed because they were never prepared for what is coming.
Yeah, but also you don't have to give up. You can be disappointed, but the most important, if you pass a lot of through, you already have to keep fighting. You don't have a choice.
I mean, who knows me, who knows him, who knows he knows that giving up is never an option. We don't talk about giving up in this podcast.
Exactly.
So we are almost at the end, and this is the Broken and Unseen podcast, bro.
Yeah.
And me and Big Sam, we always ask the guests, like, what's that one thing?
Yeah.
When you sit alone and no one is there with you.
Yeah.
When you're in your shower alone.
Yeah.
What's that one thing that was broken and it's unseen that you would like people to know about?
It's broken.
Like what's inside you?
Yeah.
Do you feel like
you're going through that no one really knows about?
That is unseen. Like what you have never really been able to talk about before. This is the platform for you now.
It's a bit complicated.
Like
because like the question is like something you don't want no one to know about it, you know? Yeah, but okay, like I can say like I'm someone like I try to play ball. Like I will try to success in other things. If I didn't succeed to the ball, I'm sure I'm fighting to success in other things.
Yeah.
To arrive in other things where like it's not ended, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping on my mind. I will come back where I supposed to be. Even it's not in the football.
Yeah.
In something else, you know.
Okay.
That's what I tell myself always.
Yeah.
You know? I keep on myself.
Okay, and then lastly from me,
or is normal life.
You have anything else to add to him?
It's been a pleasure, Joel, I must say. Thanks for sharing all this with us, and we really appreciate you. One final thing I want to ask you is that, do you see yourself in the future? One day, like, making people... I mean, let me put it out this way. Right now, everyone who knows you still think you're playing football. Or they
but not in the big level, yes.
They still think you're playing football in a big level, or they knew that you're not playing anymore?
No. They know I play, but not in big level. Because for me, I don't need to hide that. You know, because if you already play like a professional, you cannot hide it.
Yeah.
It's showing, because if you hide it, you're just laughing at yourself.
Yeah.
This yourself going back home to Guinea someday? Or you find a family here?
I have a family here, but I will go back with my family.
Yeah.
But it's for sure home. And I have a I have a lasting things to you guys. Also, thank you for the Broken&Unseen. It's a really, really good time we have it. And you guys need to keep pushing, because like it's something really, really, a lot of people, like a lot of football players will like to speak like this.
Yeah.
But maybe you will have a choice to bring them one day to come to talk.
Yeah,
thank you for
very
having me, and it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure, bro.
It's a pleasure, man.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah. So it was my humble self, Joel, and
Big Sam all the way.
Follow us on all our social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. The link is below, and see you on the next one.
Yeah.